Hello, hello. I'm going to mute for just a minute. I'll be back in like a few minutes, you guys. I'm sorry, I was talking. I'm back. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Kiki. Hey, Gina. Hey, Stanley. Hey, Patsy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Judith. Hey, Mindy. Excuse me. I'm freaking sick. Mitchell's been sick, and he got me sick. Hey, Crystal. Lies. All lies. Shush it. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Donna. Hey, Robin. Hey, Aussie Carly. Hey, Barbara. No camera tonight, guys. We are going no cam tonight because because I don't want to, first of all. And second of all, I'm going to be talking about a lot of personal information because I've talked about it vaguely. I love you too, sexy bitch. Seeing you making that money, honey. Hey, Bob. Looking from a screen share or some shit like that. I don't know. Well, hello, Bob. I don't know what that means. Hey, Lula. But I wanted to talk more about my, like, you know, everybody knows about all my charges and all that's out there. I've been honest about, I'm gonna have to get a drink. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Anyways, I have, you know, been honest about my story from day one, but I haven't went into too much detail about it. And the reasons were because I was still in, hey, Juan, in legal proceedings. Hey, Amber. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Kim. So, hey, Red Road Runner. So I couldn't talk about it very much. You know what I mean? I touched base on it here and there, right? But I want to go ahead and talk about my story because people still have questions, and I get that because I have said, and I can only tell you what happened. You don't have to believe me. It is what it is. You know, it's what I've been through, and it's my truth. There is nothing else that I can say or do. You either have to believe me or you don't. What else can I say? It's not a lie. It's the truth. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Tilly. I honestly don't even know like what I have said and what I haven't said on my channel. How is everybody tonight? First of all, hey, Aunt Mimi. I'm comfortable too. Hey, Donna. I love you. Okay, let me grab a drink. And actually, I have to pull my charges up on my phone, my initial charges that I got charged with, not convicted with. So I know. I don't remember exactly what they were. Okay, where do I start? So, long story short, no, not long story short, but I was a nurse working as an RN for many years. And I never got in trouble as a nurse or anything like that. Hey, Diane. I just let my license expire. Okay. Because I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't even know if, because I did get convicted of a felony. So I probably can never get my license renewed. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. So after that, I don't know exactly the time frame, but I met some people. I met some pretty shitty people, right? At the time, I thought they were my friends because you don't pick friends the way that you would if you weren't, hey, Sunny girl. Oh, and I wanted to say this too. I forgot. A couple people asked me what my PayPal was. I put it in the description because I can't do super chats on the channel, and a couple people asked me about it. So it is in the description. I meant to say that last time, but anyways, it's there. Let me get my thoughts together because I am a little flustered right now and out of breath. Oh, oops. Somebody else will lie. Okay. Let's Google me. Because I do got to, I have my paper, my initial paper with all my charges on it, but honest to God, don't know where it's at right this minute. But anyways, okay. So I met these two people. Well, actually, to be honest with you, they were my neighbors, right? They lived next door to us. They had kids. No, not Facebook. There's my pretty mug shot. Let's see if my charges are on there. Okay, yep, I got them. Okay, cool. Okay, so anyways, these people live next door to me, right? And they were bad news. Obviously they were bad news. Husband and wife, they were a couple. They had children. They never had any food in their house. So, I would feed their kids. I would take care of them. Because at the end of the day, I still had everything I ever needed, even when I was, doing drugs and doing the things that I shouldn't be doing. We always had what we needed to have, and everything was provided for, and all of the shit. Like, kids didn't go without. Our situation was way different than theirs, right? And Mitchell's never had a problem ever. He's always been just fucking my savior. Like, he's my hero, to be honest. So anyways, their kids would, they would come here. They didn't have food. They didn't have drinks. They had nothing in their house, you guys, like nothing ever. And I couldn't stand to see them not taken care of. So I didn't only financially took care of a drug habit, and our family, and in them as well. And the reason why they're important is because that's the person that essentially caused me to go to jail. Okay. So we're friends. They live next door. We're on and on and on and on and on. Well, one day after, I don't know. I still to this day don't know why I decided, hey, Diane, and it was so sad, heartbreaking. I couldn't, I never considered that lady like, oh yeah, she's my best friend, but I never completely wrote her off because I felt indebted to her children, to be honest with you. Like, I felt like if I didn't do, hey, Dawn, if I didn't do what I was doing for her kids, nobody else was going to. Like, I don't know how to, if you're broke, I'm sure everybody's been broke before, right? But even when you're broke, you can still eat. You can still, put shit together. We've all had ramen noodles and bologna sandwiches at one point in our life, right? You guys, they couldn't put together a sandwich in their house on any given day of the week. Okay. So it was a really bad situation with her. So anyways, I don't know. It was just a really bad day. And I just been getting fed up and I just wanted her to leave me alone. I wanted to be away from her and the lifestyle that she lived, them all together. And finally, just one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Like, I told Mitchell, I sat Mitchell down and I was like, look, I'm done. Like, I'm ready to, I just don't want to live like this anymore. Right. And he was like, okay, we'll go to the suboxone clinic. We'll do whatever we need to do. He always had my back. He's always had my back. Anyways, so we went to the Suboxone clinic, and I don't know exactly the date, you guys. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what date it was. Thank you. I appreciate that. You've been broke before, right? I'm sure everybody's been broke before. And there's a difference in being broke and then watching someone not have anything, like nothing, 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 nothing. Or else I probably, hey, Lacey, I probably would have cut these particular people off beforehand. You know what I mean? It would never have, I would have been friends with them as long as I was. I don't even know how long I was friends with them. It wasn't a long time at all, but still, they were not people I would associate with normally. Okay. So anyway, so I told him, got him Suboxone, and that was about 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago exactly. I don't know dates on that. And when I started taking Suboxone, and ever since I started taking Suboxone, I told them, leave me alone. Like anybody's number that I had in my phone, everything, any contact that I had, I changed my whole life. Like when I was done, I tried to quit before. I had quit before. I'd quit for long periods of time before, not as long as I have now, but I had quit for, I tried a few times to stop and didn't. But this time I was just fucking done, you guys. Like I was tired of running the roads. I was tired of thinking about how I was just going to feel normal. Like I was done. I cannot tell you guys just how fucking done I was. And that's when I told Mitchell, I wish I could remember exact dates, but I can't. Anyways, so I started on Suboxone, and I took Suboxone for like a year. I want to say, I could be wrong. But the way that Suboxone works, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it goes in, from what I know. I don't know a ton about it. I'll be honest with you. All I know is that when you take it, you can feel normal and you don't have that urge. Like it doesn't make you high. It doesn't do any of that. It just makes you feel halfway normal. Hey, Monica, it makes you feel halfway normal without having to think about, when you're going to get your next drug, when you're not, like the way if you've never been in the life cycle of not trying to be sick and not going into withdrawals and worrying about it constantly all fucking day long. Like it sucks. It's no fun at all. And Suboxone keeps you from doing that. Okay, so I got on Suboxone, and that worked great. Me personally, which I'm still contemplating it, and I want to do it. I have not been to classes. I did it, by myself, and I'm sure I could, benefit from going to classes. I just personally, I have not done it yet. I've made excuses, whatever. I do need to go to classes. I really do, and I'm going to. If nothing else, to be able to help other addicts in the community whenever I get to that point. Because I've been clean for over 2 years now. So, I want to be able to do that. But I looked into meetings, and they're like 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. That sucks. Okay, I'm reading chat a little bit. Suboxone saved my life. I will tell anybody that. Suboxone saved my life. I'm guarantee you that. Guarantee Suboxone saved my fucking life. We have to go to meet. Oh no, well, Lacey, I did have to go to meetings, but they were shit. It wasn't NA. It was through what do you call these people? It's like a mental health place, and it wasn't good. It wasn't like the girl would come in there fucked up every week, like fucked up out of her mind. And I get that. I understand that. But I don't know. It wasn't my scene. Like I did not like it at all. So I did go when I had to once every 2 weeks or once a month, but I fucking hated it. You're strong for doing it on. Well, the suboxone is what made it so much. What drug? Pain medication was my drug of choice. I mean, any pain medication, pretty much. Opana was my like drug of choice. And suboxone saved my life. Like Opana is the devil in a bottle. If not, if you look, if you have pain, maybe Opana is great for pain. And I've never even heard people that have pain saying that Opana is good to take for pain. I've never heard a lot of people advocating for it, to be honest. You don't know what suboxone is. It's, from what I understand, it goes into your opiate receptors, right? And blocks your opiate receptors. So you don't crave and have those withdrawals, but you also can't. Like if I took, say I took a suboxone and then took a pain medication that day, it wouldn't have any effect. It blocks any effects of pain medication. OPANA, yes. It's awful. And it may be a great medication for pain. I'm not saying if you need pain medication for your pain, that's a completely different story. I did not have pain. I had emotional pain. I honest to God, don't even know why or what. I can remember what happened though, because the first time, because I was always like, I'll never take anything. I'll never take anything. Nope, nope, nope. I'm too good for that. I'm too classy. Shut the fuck up, right? Is Suboxone like methadone? I've never tried methadone. I think they are similar, but there is a difference as well. And some can still get high on subs and pain pills. I don't know how, Margot. Maybe if you take a lot, right? Because for me, I started out, because I didn't take the strips. Hey, Mr. Boot, I didn't get prescribed the strips. I got prescribed the Subzolve. They're like smaller, they're like tablets almost, but you put them under your tongue to let them dissolve. And they never made me high, but I started out on 8.6 or whatever. Then they cut that down to 5 point whatever the next one is, 5.7, 5.6, whatever. And then they would cut you down to 2 point whatever, and then you go jump off of them, right? But me, I hate going to the doctor. Like I'm world's worst. Hey, Kit Kat. I am the world's worst about going to the doctor. I hate it. I fucking hate going to the doctor. So I got tired of going to the doctor every month. You're on the strips. See, the strips always gave me a headache, Lacey, like a bad migraine, a horrible headache. Anytime I ever tried to use those. Okay, so Suboxone, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I went down to the 5.6 and then I tapered myself off because I probably would still almost be on them now if I went by their regimen. Because what they do, they put you on them for a year. And then after a year, nurses make the worst patients. I know, right, Aunt Mimi? I hate it. You know, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe. I'm just shy anyways, first of all. And second of all, it's almost like I feel like I'm putting them out by making them do work. It's weird. I know. Just ignore me. I can't help it. I say, oh, shoot. They gave me a headache, but after a few weeks. Okay, Lacey. See, I tried before I went on the Subzol, like before that. Not then, like maybe a couple months before that, and they gave me a horrible headache. I could not. Subzol never did. I dropped my vape. Okay. So eventually I weaned myself off of the Subzols, which it's probably been now 7 months ago, 8 months, 7 months. I don't remember. I honest to God don't know the dates. Stop throwing stuff. I know, right? I'm nervous because I get nervous talking about personal stuff, but it's good to get my story out and to tell my truth. You know, it is what it is. It's never going to change. It happened. And I'm not ashamed of it, but it's a little intimidating talking about personal stuff, you know? I'm thirsty. Hang on. Okay, let me see the date that they picked me up. Does it say that? I really should go find my paper, eh? Huh. I guess that's the only. Oh, wait. June. 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 I don't know the exact date. I'll be honest. I can't. I don't know. Okay. So fast forward. I'm living my life, doing my thing, y'all. Like, proud, free, and clear. Thought that whole chapter was behind me. Okay. The only thing that I thought that I had to deal with was that stupid ass seatbelt ticket that I didn't pay, right? I was already dealing with that before I stopped initially. So I'm, living at home, doing my thing, not talking to anybody, staying sober, just doing my thing. Next thing you know, it's like a fucking Wednesday morning. I don't know what day of the week it was, right? Like a Wednesday morning. Knock, 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 knock on the door. I was like, okay. And Mitchell was home, thank God. He gets the door and he's like, is Stephanie home? And he was like, yeah, can I help you? Right? Because it was a detective. He wasn't in street clothes. He didn't want anybody to see that he was here. Because he thought he could, get me to roll over on somebody else. So he's like, can you come out here for a minute? Well, I kind of already, like, in the back of my mind, I thought maybe I had ever done something, because I knew this guy, right? The guy that I was telling you all about earlier, my neighbors, he had turned in like 40 people, right? Like 40. Hey, Vinny G. 40. So there was 2 different waves of indictments that he had turned people in. So I was like, okay, well, is there, because he was here every day. His wife was here all the time. I would go over to their house, blah, 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 right? I did things in front of them all the time. But what I did not ever do was sell drugs. I was not a drug dealer. Did I buy them? Fuck yeah, I did. Fuck yeah. Every day. So I wasn't sick. You know what I mean? So he says, step outside. And I'm like, okay. So I step outside. And I'm like, what do you need? What are you doing? Right? Hang on, let's see. Damn, I didn't get the notification. Hey, Amanda. Okay, so, well, you didn't miss much. We're up to the point, Amanda, where the detective was like knocking on my door, and I'm in my pajamas in the morning and going outside, right? And he was like, listen, I have indictments for your arrest. And I'm like, for what? Right? Like, I knew who it was from. I was like, it's so-and-so, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not surprised that it's so-and-so, but like, for what? What? And he was like, well, we got to go, we got to go in. We'll talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. Right. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So they get me and I go in there and I'm trying to remember what we did whenever we got there. Fuck, I don't know. I was scared. I was like, what are we doing? Hey, Kimberly. I was scared. I was like, here, like, you guys, here's the deal. Like I've said before, I've been arrested 2 times. One time was for, sorry, but is OPANA the same as IRs? There's IRs and ERs. 2 times. Fuck. One time was for a seatbelt ticket, and I was there for 9 hours and got bonded out. Seatbelt ticket that I didn't pay and got a failure to appear. This was the second time. I'm not cut out for jail. I am not saying that I'm better than anybody that goes to jail, whatever. I don't seek out to go to jail. You know what I mean? Like it's just not my thing. Was I doing things that could potentially get me tickets and get me in trouble? Yeah, I was, but I was not doing the things I was being like asked that I was doing. I didn't. But we'll get into that in a second. So I go in there and he was like, okay, so here's what we have. We have you. And he shows me a picture. I never got to see the audio or the video of it. And I didn't get to see it, my, what do you call this? Your emotion of discovery. I never even seen that forever. Like, I still, to this day, don't even know if I seen it or not. I think finally my lawyer showed it to me way, way down the road. Okay, so I'm in there with this random guy. Oh, and might I mention, this detective was, okay, you remember the lady that I told you guys that was my neighbor back in the day? It's her uncle. It's her fucking uncle. And her husband is the one that rolled over on about 40 different people. It's her uncle. Conflict of interest. I don't know if it's illegal or not, but just saying, conflict of interest. Yes, it's her uncle. Yeah, I was like, the only reason I knew, let me tell you how I knew this was her uncle. She had told me. I don't know. I still to this day don't know if she knew her husband did that to me or not. I don't know that because I haven't talked to her, obviously, way before they came and picked me up, because I had been clean for like a year and a half whenever they came and picked me up, right? Or something like that. A long time. I'd been fucking clean for a long time. So I hadn't talked to her in forever and ever and ever and ever. But whenever we still talked, she had told me, hey, my uncle is so-and-so, and my aunt is his wife, such and such. And she told me what his title was and his name. And she told me what her title was and her name. And her title was DA. And his title is detective. So there's that bit of info. Yes, a year and a half, Benny G. It took 1.5 years for my indictment to come back. Yes, it did. Such bullshit. Such bullshit. Anyways, I was so mad. Okay, so he shows me a picture, right? And here's what he presented the evidence to me in his little office thing. He shows me a picture of me handing such and such money. I should give him a fake name. What should I call him? We'll call him Shane. Okay. Shane is my neighbor's fake name. Okay. Just so we know who we're referencing. We'll say Shane and Chrissy. Shane and Chrissy. Okay. So Shane and Chrissy were my neighbors, and they're husband and wife, right? And Chrissy's aunt and uncle were the two that I told you about, the detective and the DA. Okay. So Mr. Detective shows me a picture of me handing money to Shane. And I was like, well, you motherfucker. So I was like, well, what do I do? Because I did hand him money. Shane is what I'm saying. Shade's a good one too. I did hand him money at my door, at my apartment. So outside, but you could see my door in the picture. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm innocent. I'm going to be honest. I said, I'm innocent. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell him what happened. I don't have anything to hide. Why would I lie? Right? So I say to him, I'm like, look, here's what happened. And I told him, and it's the truth. And I don't, whatever. Anyways, so we're going to rewind. Now, we're going to rewind back a year and a half later to the day that the indictments came from. All right, get ready. So I'm sleeping in my bed or whatever, minding my own damn business, we'll say, right? At my apartment, not bothering anyone, living my life. Knock comes on my door. Knock, 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 knock. Lo and behold, it's nobody other than Shane. I was like, hey, Shane, how are you? He was like, I'm good. He was like, look, I need you to do me a favor. And I was like, okay, sure. What do you need me to do, friend? We're friends. I take care of your kids all the time. I take care of you all the time. Let you borrow money all the time. Sure. What can I help you do, Shane? So Shane says to me, he's like, look, and you guys are going to laugh at me that I believe this, but you have to keep in mind, he was my friend. She was my friend. I'm gullible as shit. Okay. So he says to me, look, he says, my cousin wants to buy my Percocets. He had Percocets. He had a prescription of Percocets, right? Shane did. Shane went to the doctor and he got Percocets. He was like, my cousin wants to buy Percocets, but I don't want my cousin to know, right, that they're mine. So what I'm going to do is, I can't even tell this story with a straight face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them to you, right? Bring them to you. And I'm going to come back to your door and pick them up. So my cousin doesn't know they're mine. He thinks they're yours. And I was like, well, okay. What am I going to get out of it? I didn't even ask that question. That's what I should have fucking asked. Because at the end of the day, I got fuck all out of it. Not even a dime, not even a pill, not even a nothing. Okay. Hey, Paula. So he's by the time that he comes back, because he asked me first, and then he didn't come back for a while. And then by the time he came back, he was fucked up. Like he was slurring. And I was like, what the hell? What are you doing? So in my mind now, after the fact, knowing that he was wired, he probably got fucked up to set me up. I don't know, but he was fucked up. So in my naive head, while I'm telling the detective this same story, I'm thinking, well, you're going to watch the video. You're going to see that he was fucked up. You're going to see that he told me these things. Hell no, that was never an option. In my mind, I thought that the detective was going to like look at the evidence. I did not know how the justice system worked at the time. Obviously, I was very naive. So he walks into the kitchen. I open the door. He walks into the kitchen and he's like, hey, there's only 9 in here. He thinks there's 11 in here. I'm going to grab. He either said, do you have 2 Tylenol? Or I don't remember. But anyways, he said, put 2 Tylenol in here. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'll put 2 Tylenol there, whatever. I thought that he was selling them to his fucking cousin, right? So he brings me the perks. I put them in my pocket. He leaves. He comes back. He walks down the road, mind you. This was the weird part. Like, said cousin did not come and pull in the parking lot. Said cousin was nowhere around. He walked up the road, like to the stop sign, and then walked back down here. And I was like, what? But in my head, I was like, he sounds fucked up. Maybe he's just fucked up. I don't know what's happening. So he comes back down here and knocks on the door. I hand him to him. He hands me the money and he goes on about his way. And like 30 minutes later, he comes and picks his money up and goes home. That was the first 4 charges I got, which were, those got me sales scheduled 2 controlled substance, sell counterfeit controlled substance, hence the Tylenol. Hey, Ash. Hey, Chaos. Evidence? Are you kidding me? That's too common sense. I know, and it doesn't work like that. I'll tell you guys what happened after the fact. Okay. Okay, so I got for this, what I just told you all the story about, I got cell schedule 2 controlled substance, cell counterfeit controlled substance, possession of schedule 2 controlled substance, and possession of counterfeit controlled substance. Oh, and deliver schedule 2. I got 5, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 felonies for that exchange. 5. Okay. So those were my first 5 charges. After I'll tell you all what I actually got charged with and what happened in court. Yada, yada, yada. All right. So I was facing, hey, Chloe, I was facing 9 felonies altogether. It's been, everybody, wants to talk about 9 charges. Yes, these were my 9 charges. Those were 5 of my 9 right there, which was all one. You all get it. You get it, right? He handed me the Percocets. I handed them to him out the door. He had a camera on. He caught me on the camera. I handed him the money. Boom, 5 felonies. Crazy, right? Okay. Well, the second offense, the second date of second offense on my indictment were jackass Shane, well, as we're calling him, called my phone and he was like, hey, look, me and Chrissy are going to buy 2 suboxone strips from the neighbor, a different neighbor, right? And I was like, okay. He was like, but look, if we're not home, I'm going to have her leave them with you and I'll come pick them up from you. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll sell you someone else's fucking suboxone strips. Sure. Fucking jackass I am, huh? So once again, he comes by, he comes to the door, picks up the neighbor lady's suboxone strips, and then goes on about his merry way. So, same guy, mind you, Shane, both times. The rest of my charges are as follows. Sale of Schedule 3 controlled substance, which is a suboxone strip, I guess. Possession of Schedule 3 controlled substance. Deliver Schedule 3 controlled substance. And I think that's it. Yeah. So that's 9. That should be 9 altogether. Pasha Naughty is your charge. Pasha Naughty. Okay. So that's what I was looking at. So I told the dude, I told the dude my story. Like, what else could I do at that point? I couldn't afford a fucking like banging ass lawyer to go through and be like, nope, she didn't actually do this. You know what I mean? So I'd never been to like court. I had to go to superior court, mind you, not like I had to go to the big court. And on my first day, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And so on my first day, I got appointed to an attorney, like a court appointed attorney, and they just told me, come back in a month, then come back in a month, and then come back in a month, and then come back in a month. I think they continued it 6 times. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they continued it 6 times. 5, I know for sure, but I think on the 6th time, I think they continued it 5 times, and on the 6th time, I finally got to talk to my lawyer. Didn't talk to my lawyer before then, not once. Didn't even talk to my lawyer. Nothing, not even a hey, how are you? Nada. But here's what saved me or helped me a lot, I think, right? Because when I finally did talk to my lawyer, I'm like, look, hey, I can prove that for the last, however long before I had stopped taking Suboxone, right? However long before that, a year or more than a year before that, I have clean drug tests. I can show you clean drug tests for over a year. He's like, really? I'm like, yes, really. Like, I've been clean. I'm clean. I don't, do any of that. I have not been associated with that. I'm not even on, like, I've already went through the suboxone program, blah, blah, blah. So I went to my doctor and had my doctor fax over a year's worth of clean drug tests to him. And when I went before the judge, he said to me, he was like, "You're a nurse?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm a nurse." And he was like, what is a felony going to do for you? And I was like, to be honest, I don't know. And there's not really much I can do about it right now. And he was like, okay. He was like, here's what we're going to do. He let me plead down to a felony of selling. So like all the other felonies that were like the possession, deliver, fucking what all that other bullshit that they just stick on you with the same action, right? They dropped it down. So I either got 2 or 1. I don't know if it got dropped down to just selling once felony or 2. I think 1, but I don't want to lie. So 2 at the most, 1 at the least. Felony is what I got convicted of, and got 48 months strict probation. Is that what it's called? Probation? Yeah, probation. Supervised is the word. Supervised probation, 48 hours of community service, which I'm done with, by the way, and pay my fines, right? Once I pay my fines and get my community service done, then I'm on unsupervised, and I'll be all done. So there's that. That's what I got 9 felony charges for. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sure you do. I'm sure I skipped over a ton of stuff, Steph. I think many of us would have done the same thing in your shoes for a friend. Exactly on it. Like I'm not. Oh, and by the way, Shane. Let's talk about Shane's fate. Hang on. Let me take my BC real quick. I'm going to update you guys on Shane. So, of course, I haven't had anything to do with those people. Yes, Vinny G, I sure will. Let me tell you about Shane, and I'll tell you. Shane. Okay. So whenever I finally got to talk to my lawyer after however many fucking months it took, which he did good though. I mean, if I would have like paid a bunch of money for a lawyer, I'm sure I could have gotten away without a felony, but to each their own, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't want to go to jail. I wanted to get behind me. I wanted to be able to just work on rebuilding my life and getting my fucking life back. Other than that, I just wanted to get behind me. So it all worked out in the end. So, but my lawyer asked me, he's like, well, where's this Shane guy at now? Right. I'm like, I have no idea. You know what I mean? He's like, well, let's see if, if he's in the system. Looked him up. This motherfucker. After turning in about 40 different people, is in prison for 6 years. I was like, really? Hey, Stacy. Yeah. Did Mitchell feel like breaking the mofos' heads? Listen to me, Mr. Boot. Get ready. He hated them the whole time. Like, he loathed. He only ever put up with them because he loves me. he hated them. Like one day, if he ever was to come on camera and talk to you, I'll ask him. Like he's he was like, why? I think he threw a party whenever they were out of our life, like a legit, thank God, party. He wanted them gone so bad for so long. So they were nothing but a hindrance on our life. But the only thing that kept me just not telling to fuck all the way off 10 fucking years before I did was those kids and not even having food. But you know what? That wasn't my problem at the end of the day. It wasn't. But I let myself care too much about shit like that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know what? He wouldn't say I told you so. He wouldn't. He just was like, I'm happy. Hey, Gary, I'm happy we have moved beyond this point. You know what I mean? He was just like, never again. Like, please, never again. He has the patience of a saint, like literal patience of a saint. If I was him, I would have kicked me to the curb a long time ago, probably. Yes, you surely can. Absolutely. If anybody else wants a link, let me know. We can, if you have any questions or anything to add to this conversation, I'm gonna send it to you on Twitter, Vinny. I gotta burp. I gotta find you. You're probably way down here. Let's see. There you are. You got it. And I know some people, anybody, I don't expect anybody to believe my story. I just want to put the information out there if anybody cares to hear it. If anybody may be in a similar situation and feel alone, anything like that. You know what I mean? I know people aren't going to believe my story 100%. It's crazy. Hey, Vinny.
Hi, Steph. I know what you're about to say, and I would never judge a person for the experience that you've gone through, because, I mean, that is just a clear-cut case of being set up.
It surely felt that way.
Well, it doesn't feel that way, Steph. The way you tell it, and the events that happened, even to have photos, you were set up. That's as simple as that. I just got a very curious question.
Sure.
What does suboxone actually do, and what is it actually used for? Because I mean, I could research it on the web, but if I talk to people who have used that substance, and what is a strip? Okay. I'm just curious.
Okay, from my personal experience, I have taken strips before. Strips, okay, if some people say strips or tablets, that's just different forms that the same medication comes in. So like you can have a 12 milligram suboxone strip, you can have 8 milligram suboxone strip, on and on. I took Subzol tablets, which went in your tongue, but essentially they're the same thing. Essentially, the medication. Okay. So what it did for me was just made me not crave it. I have heard people say in like the past that they took it to get high. I never had that, but I never overtook my medicine. I wasn't on a high dose. And I know if you take them, like my neighbor, Chrissy, at one point she got Suboxone strips. I wish she would have kept taking them, but she didn't. She sold them. Anyways, she took Suboxone and had Xanax at the same time, and that was a bad combination. Like, it made her high, for sure. Made her high.
Wow. So you're a nurse, right?
Yes.
Okay. Trust me, these are just curious questions, because okay, so I'm not looking to vilify anyone or anything. So Suboxone and Valium, what do you think of that?
Not a good combination. I've never taken it together.
Yeah.
I can't think for sure if I've ever taken Suboxone like before, because once I started on Suboxone, like actually on like going to the doctor and getting a prescription, I never took anything else and I never went back. But before that, if I couldn't get pain medication or whatever, I would settle for Suboxone. See, but I don't ever recall myself taking a Valium or a Xanax and a Suboxone. But I've heard that what happens is when you're on, I don't know what the chemistry is behind it. I don't know what causes it, but I have been told over and over, and even by Chrissy's doctor, whenever she went, the doctor either told her, you either got to stop the Xanax or stop the Suboxone. Because what happens is when you're on Suboxone, it makes the Valium or the Xanax much stronger. Almost, it would be like for her, it would be like taking a 10 milligram Xanax instead of like a 1 milligram Xanax.
Wow.
I don't know why it happens. I don't know the chemistry behind it, but I do know it's a thing for sure.
So suboxone is a painkiller?
It helps with pain. It's not a painkiller. It's an opiate receptor. Honest to God, I don't really know exactly how it works, but I know it goes into your opiate receptors, blocks your opiate receptors, and if you take pain medication, there is no effect. But I do know those kind of what do you call those? Like Xanax, Valium, you know what I mean? Like those kind of nerve medications have a really weird effect with Suboxone for some reason.
Okay. I'm just curious at the moment because, like, I don't know if you've seen the last few streams. You know, people try to help people, obviously, and to me, it's become a situation where I thought I'm going to try something with addiction. So I just thought I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up smoking. Right now, what I've come to conclusion with after using myself as a lab rat just on nicotine, which is one of the highly addictive drugs in the world.
Absolutely. Yes.
I've had to actually replace that, and I don't crave cigarettes, but I'm eating like a real pig. So I've come to the conclusion that going cold turkey is impossible for anyone unless you have something to replace what you're going cold turkey from.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just crazy because I just see this person taking copious amounts of Suboxone and Valium, and I'm just thinking that's weird.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And okay, say for instance, like Suboxone, what you're supposed to do too. I don't know how it works everywhere. I can only speak from my personal experience, right? But what you do, you get on a program and they give you a certain dose. Like I started out on 8.6 milligrams. I think it's 8.6, 8 point something. And you stay on that certain amount for like a year. And then they start cutting you down to the point where like you go from 8.6 to 5.7, and then for like 6 months. And then after that, you go to 2.3 for like 6 months, and then you jump off. You're done. So you won't have as bad of a withdrawal. But that's how a Suboxone program works. I don't know how it works if you take it for pain management. It's different if you take it for pain management.
Wow, it's yeah. I'd never known about Suboxone or what it was until I started listening to certain streams, and that's my wife in the background talking. And people were getting dragged for Suboxone and things like that, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this Suboxone thing, And then I heard some Australians, on YouTube, they were using it, and I didn't know if it was used for pain or for what, but it seems to be used here in Australia in combination, like you said yourself, with Xanax or Valium. But the doses that some people are taking, like had Deb on a stream the other day, and she was explaining that the doses that were being administered were just like way above what should be prescribed, and it's actually caused a problem now. It's an addiction.
I heard, and I don't know the chemistry behind it, but I heard if you take over 16 milligrams a day, I think once you go over 16 milligrams a day, your body cannot even synthesize more than that. So it's almost like the research behind it is that anything over that in a 24-hour period is too much.
Wow. Because we're talking 30 here.
No, never. Yeah, I don't think you could even get that in a day here.
Yeah, and like it's the highest prescribed dose in America. In Australia.
Right.
This is what this person's claiming, and like people have come on and said, "No, listen, there's something wrong there. You better change your doctor or something because there's Valium involved as well." And people were just saying that is crazy shit.
No, here. I could not imagine a doctor prescribing 30 milligrams of Suboxone a day plus Valium. I don't think you would find it. You would be hard pressed to find a doctor that would prescribe that. It's dangerous. Wow. People overdose from that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Yeah, no, I just wanted to find out, but to me, it was interesting to hear the story actually because you were clearly set
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
And anytime you have any questions about, that kind of thing, hit me up. If I can help you, I'll help you. I don't know everything, but I do know my own personal experience, and I can always give you that point of view.
yeah, no, it was actually enjoyable to hear the story, to be honest, because it gives you an insight of what people, the real addicts, are prepared to do to an innocent person. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah, yeah. It
you know,
almost it surprised me. I'll be honest, it surprised me. I thought, even though I had heard he had set like whatever, like 40 people up, it's still I, I thought I was like
a
more
friend.
than that. You know what I mean? I thought I was
Yeah,
better than that to them because I helped them
yeah,
financially. I did. Oh, whatever. It just sucks, but
yeah.
you live and learn.
That's it. It's all a learning experience, isn't it?
It is.
But anyway, I've got a lot of kitchen noise in the background. And Stephanie, thank you very much for the link.
Of
It's been a
course.
pleasure to talk to you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, nah, always watching. Big fan.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you for
Okay,
coming.
bye. Bye.
Okay. Okay, what did Art Deco say? I wanted to see what she said. I'm sorry if I missed you and you were trying to say something. So I just try to get as much info when the topic gets brought up. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I know. And actually, I told you I was going to call you too, and I haven't even done that yet. Amber K, me, or Amanda. And I'm going to be less busy. Now, yes, call me Donna. I have questions. Sure. I'm ready for questions now. I love you too, Mr. Boot. You're so sweet. PM tried to, but Butrans patch. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. See, Lacey, that's what I thought too. Lacey said, yes, the big no-no, Xanax and Suboxone. No way. You would be hard fine. Cigarettes nearly 72 hours without eating everything in sight. Well, good. That's good though. It is hard. That's why I say Suboxone saved my life, because it gave me that little push that I needed to feel like I was strong enough to taper off and to be like, fuck you. I don't need to think about this thing ruling my brain every second of every day. Like, it's a demon inside of you. I hate it. God, I hate it. And I hate anybody that's going through it right now, because it feels like whenever you're in active addiction and you are looking at withdrawal, it feels like the biggest mountain you are ever going to cross. You feel, and anybody that's there right now, like, hit me, Amber K, Amanda, and anybody else in the chat that is willing to reach out to someone, or someone reach out to them. But then, okay, I'm still on Oxy and Oxycodone. Will be life for them. And that, here's the thing too, right? I want to start looking into the actual, like, more of after listening to Marla's stream. That's what I was talking about the other day, because there are plenty of people that need pain medication, right? Plenty of people that need pain medication. Pain medication is a beautiful thing when it's needed and used. It's there for a reason. And I think that it's pushed so one-sided in the media. I've been clean for almost 2 years, came off cold turkey. The withdrawals were insane. Well, good for you, Bill. That's awesome. Steph, I am not strong enough anymore. I'm so over everything. Listen to me. You are strong enough. I thought, do you remember what I told you? That little secret I told you? If two things, I'll tell you two things. Kratom's still available up until next year. I seen it. You can order it online, or they have it in my vape shop up here. I seen that. Also, there's over the counter things that you can take. And if anybody wants some information to help them through withdrawals, over the counter, hit me up in DMs. I'll tell you some things that you can get at Walmart to help you through withdrawals, or at least take the edge off a little bit. People are dying from that mixture, and the clinics don't want. Do you want a link, Amber? Or Amanda? Or anyone? It is the most, not the most, right? Just in my life, it is one of the most helpless, horrible, senseless, like, how the fuck did I get my life to this point? Feelings you will ever feel in your whole entire lifetime. But once you get through it and you're on the other side and you can wake up in the morning and not have to, not have to wonder how am I going to feel normal today? Because you don't feel, you don't get high anymore. You don't even feel like, after a while, you don't even feel that way. You just feel like you need to take something so you don't go in withdrawal so you can feel normal, right? So you can get off the couch. And it's like, no, do you want a link? I'll send you a link. Anybody that wants a link to talk about this subject, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Hey, Rennie. Are you talking to me, Michelle? I didn't think you were being rude. If I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I miss comments all the time. I told you my parents in heroin. I was on meds regulated by the pain clinic and urine tested every month. Butrans is buprenorphine. I tried it for a month and didn't help. He put me back on the morphine. Good that because I've talked to a lot of different nurses, and it's definitely changing. They're definitely, cracking down, and not, it's way too much government regulation. People that need medication are having a hell of a time getting it. Hell of a time. And it sucks. Not you, Michelle Porter, the other Michelle. She said, me? Yes, she should probably stay on them because he probably. That stream with earlier. What stream? Michelle said, oh, okay. Okay, let me check Twitter. I haven't even picked my phone up for a second. And somebody said they had questions. Anybody that have any questions, and if you want a link, hit me up on Twitter. Oh, I didn't even put my Twitter in the thing. Here, I'll put it right here. I forgot to put it in the description box. I apologize. You want a link? Hit me up on Twitter. Amanda said, what did I miss? I know, Ash, we're nosy, right? Fill us in, Lacey. Oh, no, it's brown. Damn it. I typed it in wrong, of course. There is my actual Twitter. Anybody wants a link, hit me up. They are trying to cut my pain meds down by half. My neurosurgeon told my pain management doctor, absolutely not. Not while I'm in shunt failure. See, you know why, though? The reason why is because they don't look at people as individuals. You know what I mean? It's like they just look at it on a piece of paper. Oh, this person's getting this many medications, blah, 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 blah. I hate it. Stephanie, I've been on painkillers, and I started knowing when it was time to take a pill, and I got off of them. But I have to live with pain. Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't know the difference between, like, if you become I know there is a difference between being physically dependent and addiction, right? Like for me, for instance, I just have an addictive personality. Okay, so I can become addicted to something, and another person that can take the same exact thing could never become addicted to it, but they can become physically dependent on it. But that's physically dependent, but they're totally different things. Psychologically, addiction is different than a physical dependence. A physical dependence is once you get used to taking a medication, your body has a reaction. When you are an addict and you are addicted to anything, I don't care what it is, right? If you're addicted to something, you mentally think about it, you dream about it, you it's weird, okay? It's different than just being physically dependent. Right, Mr. Mysterious. There is an absolute difference. And I think um recovered addict survivor, I I want to make a point to point out that side too, because I think it never gets talked about in like mainstream media. It's like here's opiates, and here's the ugly, horrible, evil, mean side of the opiates, but it doesn't ever show the the people that are in agony, pain that's 50 times worse than a withdrawal. You know what I mean? Like horrible pain. And then they can take something and get relief from that. That they need to show that side too. They need to portray that side as well. Steph, please tell me what happened with backstabber Shane. I thought I said it, but I might not have. He is in prison for like 6 years. Yes, still. So, I mean, apparently it didn't even help him out in his endeavors in life. You know what I mean? Because I guess you're supposed to like turn somebody in to, because I know before he had like, he was already a felon from way back in the day, right? And then he had like firearm by felon and breaking and entering, which he said he didn't do, but he did, I'm sure. So he had like bad charges. And I guess that's when he started getting help to get out of those charges. And then after that, way after the fact, after I already, had been set up and didn't know about it, when, in that year and a half I was waiting on my indictments, he apparently got mixed up in some kind of meth distribution, something or another. I don't know. All I know is he's in prison for like 6 years. Karma's a bitch, motherfucker. I'm at home, knock on wood. Thank you, God. That's all I care about. I'm not in prison. Sorry, I don't know if I would already answer this or not. Been off and on, just listening a little bit, trying to get my daughter hooked up for machines. I got a question though. Sure, Misha. Let's hear it. Oh my God, Rennie, people go way too far. I believe people that use heroin are addicts and use it to get high. People that need it for chronic pain would never turn to illegal drugs. Never turn to illegal street drugs. I believe, I don't know. Depending on how bad your pain, fuck that. That's not fair to say. Could you imagine if you had horrible pain that you lived with day in and day out, and the only way you ever got any relief, like you go from a 10 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 with your pain medicine, right? You can't even get above a 6, below a 6, I mean. And no human deserves to live like that anyways, right? And they just take your pain medication away. Fuck that. You'll get the same pain relief from heroin. Not saying that everybody would do it, but you don't know until you're in that situation. That's horrible. Let's see what Rennie said. Okay, wait, Misha. Okay, I heard the beginning. Your choice was Opana. I've never heard of that med. Does it go by something else? Got another. The generic name is hydromorphone, I think, or oxymorphone. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I missed what Rennie said. All I know, I'll say this much. I think I've said it before, and that because this isn't in like an addiction and recovery, stream, but the first time that I ever tried Opana, because I tried every other, pain medicine, blah, 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 blah. First time I ever tried Opana, 5 milligrams in, I was hooked. Right then, boom, done. Like, I don't know, anything about heroin, but I could not imagine that heroin would make you feel much better than that drug did. Couldn't imagine. I would say that it's stronger than most heroines on the street. Mermaid, the system is so messed up. I'm sorry for your family. I missed. Okay, people are committing suicide from pain meds. Absolutely, I couldn't imagine. I would rather live every day in withdrawal. I don't know. It would be a toss-up than to sit there in horrible, excruciating pain. Like, here's all that I can try to what do you call it? Correlate it with, right, in my brain. Because I don't have chronic pain. So to empathize, I think about whenever you're going into labor and you have that feeling of just pain and pain and pain, but to have pain all the time with no way to breaks my fucking heart. That breaks my heart. Hey, Kiki. Hey, Ricky. I was the same and swore I would only do the heroin once because I couldn't find a pill. Well, I was hooked after one shot. Yep. See, here we could never, I didn't know where to get heroin, so I didn't know, much about it, but I surely knew everybody and their mother who had Opanas. Unfortunately. What happened? I was on fentanyl, roxycodone, Xanax, and Ambien for 15 years. It was a hell. Holy shit, Aunt Mimi. Oh, that's another thing I was very fond of. Very fond of was fentanyl. Fentanyl patches. Poof, and she is gone again. Who? I'm gone again? My father went from weed and beer to cocaine to heroin. My mother was in if you can't beat them, join them. Yep. Infection, sepsis, and at 13, I watched her arms and legs turn black from, oh, I'm so sorry that you went through that. I could not imagine. Okay, let me look up Misha. I'm sorry. Okay, Misha, where are you? Where are you hiding? Oh my gosh. What can I see? I'm on live chat. Okay, Misha, okay. Because I'm trying to relate with an opiate that I'm aware of. Okay, at the end, your tolerance. Trams, how many would you need? Or 10 milligram tablets. Trams, you mean like tramadol? Because if you're talking about tramadol, that's like night and day difference. If I could say anything, like I could take 10 Percocets when 10, no problem, and they wouldn't barely even get me from being sick at the height of my addiction. Died from heroin overdose. He was only 18. Oh, so many people are lost to addiction. So many people. He said, my doctor has me on tramadol, roll an eye emoji. I know, right? Might as well be on Tylenol. I'm not looking for any pity party. It's just the sad thing about addiction. I don't hold anger or anything. I'm truly sorry if people are angry at me. Oh, well, I'm not angry at you. And I know you're not, but it's still something that you went through that, that's hard to go through. And I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. And I couldn't imagine. Michelle, people would either swallow it, that was liquid, or they would cut it up and put it under their tongue. Wait, what are you talking about? Do you believe in the term recovering addict, even if the person did not touch anything for 1 year or more? I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you, because I've never been to like good meetings, you know what I mean? Like the meetings that I went to they were not NA. They were not helping me. You're welcome. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel like a recovering addict, but they tell you you're an addict. Once you're an addict, you're always an addict because you were born that way. But I don't feel like, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. Back to Schedule C, they are saying trams are more addicting than smack. I agree from you know what, Misha? You know what I think it is? They have, what do you call this? Shit. A characteristic. I can't think of a better word, right? But whenever they put people on antidepressants that are SSRIs, and it's a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, it causes your brain to, release serotonin or whatever. But tramadol does the same thing. So not only do you have like the pain medicine effect with tramadol, you also have the SSRI effect as well. So maybe that's why they're even harder to get off of. I don't know. I've never been on them long term, but I have taken them, of course. And you're right to not feel like that. I appreciate that. Meetings can trigger some people. It's very subjective. See, that's okay. Whenever I first was done, like I told you guys, I was done. I didn't want, and maybe this is selfish, but I didn't want anything to do with any other addicts, anybody that had problems. I had problems of my own. I needed to get my shit together. I erased anybody's phone number in my phone that had any kind of, way to get anything, to have any kind of connections, any of that shit. I wiped them out because the way I looked at it, none of those people were my friends. They were all my drug buddies. So I completely, like, from day one to the next day, I cut everybody on my life, changed. I didn't go to the same places. I didn't go around the same people. I literally changed my life overnight. And that's what helped me. And I chose not to go to meetings because I did not want to be around that lifestyle. I knew what I needed to do for myself. Not saying that's for everybody. Meetings help people save lives. That's just what I did at the time because I knew me and how I was. And I needed to, just appreciate my family and my husband and just get my shit together. I just needed to get a second and get my shit together. And that's what I did. Your neighbor overdosed on tramadol. Wow. Seizures. Yes, that's another thing that I heard a lot of people talking about, that tramadols can cause seizures. Like you can never have had seizures before in your life, and they can cause you to have seizures. I'm so upset right now. I wish I had someone like you, Stephanie, close to me to help me save my life. Listen, I'm going to send you my phone number, and you're going to call me tomorrow. Oh, shit, I didn't even see that you fucking messaged me. I'm such an asshole. Bella, I didn't even see you message me until just now. Hang on. Art Deco, will you do me a huge favor and DM me right now? Just say, hey, So you're at the top of my list, and I'm going to send you my phone number right now. And I'm so sorry that I was busy for a couple of days and I did not stay on getting back to you like I needed to. I'm done with fucking getting this community service out of the way. I will be here for you. I'll do everything I can to help you. I've been where you're at. I know what it feels like. I might not be able to, tell you the right things, but I can listen to what you have to say. Oh, I'm going to cry right now. You can do it. I promise you, you can do it. 500 milligrams at a time. Holy shit. Tramadol gives me migraine. Yeah, I think Tramadol shit. Even for people that are in, pain that need pain medication. Shut up. I can't help it. I'm such a crybaby. I almost took my own life 3 days ago. I don't think I can. You don't think you can? No, you can. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you I can't because I'm going to cry. I don't remember if it was the day that I decided to go, take suboxone and change my life. But there was this bitch. And for whatever reason, I didn't even like her, but we were in the car with her and she kept talking because she sold pills or whatever. She kept talking condescending to me. She kept fucking like talking to me some type of way. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, fuck you. So I fucking jumped out of the car in the middle of nowhere. I don't remember where we were going, what we were doing, but some kind of something to do. Hey, Scottish, some kind of something to do with going to get, pills. And I was like, let me the fuck out. I didn't know where I was. I don't even remember if I had a phone. I don't remember. But I was like, I will not for what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? I'm with this skanky ass, trashy ass girl that I wouldn't even associate with in real fucking life. I mean, you know what I mean? Normally. And I was so done, but I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what do I do? So that's when I told Mitchell, and I've had Mitchell, and that's why I say he saves my life. If I can help you, I'll do anything I can to help you. Let me see if you DM me so I can send you my number. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see what Mr. Mysterious said. Yes, Captain, I heard that I've never been through that, but I've heard that it's worse than opiates. I don't know. Yes, I am. I was talking to Art Deco, and she is having a rough time with addiction, and it just breaks my heart because I know what it fucking feels like. It feels like you can't do it, but you can. I promise you can. It will be worth it, but it's hard and you feel hopeless, but you can do it. I promise you can do it. I love you too, Willow Sage. Because I need to go and want to see. Yes, I will leave it up. Sure. believe it or not, talking about withdrawals and seizures just so left alone. Don't ever get yourself in a place. Okay, Captain. Yeah, it's there. Once you start taking medications like that, they're hard. It, people need them and they're important, but they're hard to come off of. You become dependent on lots of different medications once you start taking them. I'm not just talking about narcotics. Look, Bella said, same, please reach out to others. You may feel like you are alone. Hang on, let me read what she said because that is very important. You may feel like you're alone and have no other options, but support is here and you can beat addiction. This feelings will not last. You will have brighter and better days. Absolutely. I understand hopelessness. Absolutely. Hopelessness is, I would say, for me in my personal experience, that's what I felt more than anything, hopeless and helpless, because I felt like, why did I do this? How did I get here? What am I doing? Why does my body have to have something every day to get through 24 hours? What is this? And it feels like once you get yourself there, you can never unget yourself out. You can, girl. You can. Oh. And if you don't have support, it makes it hard. It makes it harder for you for sure. Because I honestly feel like Mitchell, being as supportive as he has always been, helped me a whole lot. It made it so much easier for me. Because I told him everything. Before I set him down, told him, he kind of turned a blind eye to, to the extent that it was. But, once I told him, and I think that's a lot of the reason I told him, because once I told him, I couldn't untell him, and I wanted him to know, and I wanted to change, and I wanted to be different. Because I was tired of being fucking sick and tired. I was tired of being sick and fucking tired, man. It sucks. All right. Does anybody have any more questions? I'm going to hop off here because it is 12 o'clock in the morning. That's why I'm so upset. I don't have anyone and I'm such a dark place. I had to reach out to a stranger at the time for help. Look, you have my number. I just sent you my number. I want you, as soon as I get up tomorrow, I'm going to text you so we can, whenever you're available, I want to talk. But if you text my phone, that's the easiest way to get up with me. Like, if I'm awake, I will respond if you text my phone. A lot of times I don't check Twitter a lot, but if you just text my phone and I'll get back to you ASAP anytime. I'm sick of mating sucks. Fucking men, Michelle. Yes, we do recover. Absolutely. Everybody, please, before we go, show Miss Art Deco some love. Tell her that she can do this. We're going to be here for her. We all love her and we want to help her through this. About this stuff, Stephanie, it makes me feel a little better when I can share some of my story. Absolutely, Mr. Mysterious. Anytime. None of us are alone. You know what I mean? We all, not everybody, but a lot of people have this in common, know what it feels like. A lot of people, I feel like, have been addicted to something at some point, know what it feels like and can try to lift each other up and make each other feel better, I got to get going. Everybody be safe and happy and healthy. And if you don't mind, could you sub to me, please? Have a good night. Y'all take care. All right. Good night, Mr. Mysterious. Thanks for coming. Use the chat. And you got to go. I hope that's okay. On you. Yeah. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Yes. Anybody that wants to be, hey, Dr. Koala, anybody that, wants to be there for, put your Twitter in there or Hangouts or anything. to just to just knowing that you have somebody else that understands where you're at, even one other person when you need that means the world. Art Deco, please remember you are someone special. Amen. Robin Grania too. Good night, Marie. Okay, there's Anna's Twitter. I need to follow Anna Archer's Lana. Probably do already, but I need to make sure I do. I'm such a crybaby. I can't help it though. Archer's Lana. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, I follow you. Just making sure. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you all so much for coming and listening to me tell my interesting story of my life. And you're not a crybaby. You have a heart to go. Well, I appreciate that. I do feel like a crybaby sometimes, but that's okay. I like to cry. Makes us feel better. Well, it makes me feel better sometimes to let it out. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Have a great night. And night, guys. And I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.